Hello everybody, how are you today? It's Sharon Hankins here with another DIY live project for you from Essential Stencils page, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you what we're working on today. Let me know where you're watching from, and I'll just get my Facebook page ready down here while we're jumping on there. Now don't forget, we always give away three prizes, 3 gift cards for Essential Stencil at the end of our live. So stay tuned and stay in the comments, and let's get crafting, and we'll see what winners we get today. I'm just still trying to find the live. This gets me every time with trying to find where we're at. Hi Natalie, how are you today? I might have jumped on like 1 minute too soon, just in case you're still jumping on. We've had the time change this year, and that always messes with my head. I always have to double check, triple check with people in the USA, because we don't have the same time changes as you do over there. So it means I'm going live an hour later than what I would normally do on my Australian Thursday morning here, where it's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. CST over there. So I changed my clock, I changed my calendar time. I don't change my clock of going live. So we're going to be doing a fun project today using Essential Stencils' brand new Nativity bundle. So if you haven't grabbed a hold of that, here's my code again, I Restore Stuff. You can get 10% off, and that's off the already discounted bundle. Now I believe the bundle itself, if you get all the Nativity sets and they will make a complete scene, I'll show you that today. But they are 20% off if you get them all together. You can buy them individually, and I'll show you how you could use them individually, but today I'm going to kind of make a set. And so if you do want to get them as the bundle, you save 20%, plus you get another 10% off using my code I Restore Stuff. And we're going to be using some fun Fusion Alchemy paints today. I've decorated or put the background on my signs today using Fusion's Alchemy range and the colour Storm. So it's this gorgeous dark night blue, you know, like a storm might be dark, but it didn't storm on that first Nativity night. I don't think it did anyway. There were stars and all sorts of things. Okay, and shepherds and wise men and everything. So we're going to be making it all tonight. Hi, Sandy's here, Eleanor's here, Dorothy's here. Welcome, thank you so much. I am from the blog I Restore Stuff, and you can use my code I Restore Stuff here. You can follow me at I Restore Stuff on Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok even, although I'm not there very often. I mainly kind of hang out on Instagram, sometimes in Facebook. You can follow me there. And my blog is irestorestuff.com, and I love to upcycle furniture and home decor. And today I'm going to show you something using canvases. Oops, I just saw another little part that's a little bit not painted, and I've got my brush handy here. So you know how you pick up a piece that you've already painted and you can see a little bit of the background. I can see right there we've got a little bit of the background, so I'm going to just touch that up, make sure I've got all the areas covered now that it's dried. I've put on 2 coats of the colour Storm. It's this nice dark deep blue, and checking my other pieces here, we're all good, I think, nearly. Just touch those up too. It's funny, once they're dry, you can see you might need an extra little bit. So see how the paint, when it's wet, it sort of looks a little bit of a different colour. I've got 3 canvases, and we're going to be making a nativity scene today. So hands up in the comments if you've had a look or even ordered the nativity scene already. Hi Margie, hello from Arkansas. Pat's here, Melissa's here, hello. Yeah, hands up in the comments if you have ordered the nativity set already. It is ready to go, and it's just launched this week, and I'm so excited to use it. Such a beautiful set. I'm going to be using it as like the full set, but it comes with 5 different stencils. Just making sure you can see me here. I will drop this down. I'm doing this landscape, if you notice today, instead of up and down. It's because I'm doing a landscape artwork, and so I thought, hey, let's just try it that way. Also, when we upload them to YouTube, it kind of works better that way, I think, anyway. So we've got the Bethlehem scene, so it's the Bethlehem in the background. We've got some words here: peace on earth, little town of Bethlehem. Then we have, so there's 5 in the set. Then we have the we call that the Holy Night Nativity, so we've got Mary and Joseph, the baby Jesus in the manger, the stable there, and we've got some words, O Holy Night, for unto us a child is born. Now it's got great instructions on the back here, and each one also comes with a visual image of how you can put these all together to make a complete scene, and I'll be showing you that today. Thanks, Gina. You like the background, the blue? And Anne is here. Anne from North Carolina. Mary Ann is Anne. Okay, got you. This one is called The Herald Angels and the Stars. So we've got Glory to God in the highest. Hark the herald angels sing. We've got some stars here, and we've got two angels facing this way. Actually, it's just one angel, and then that's the layer that you put on top. I'll show you how to do that. There's instructions also how to layer. So if you look at the visual, you can do this one and then layer that one on top. That's three of them. Now the fourth one, we've got some shepherds here. Come, let us adore him, and the Lord is my shepherd. We have the shepherd here. We've got some sheep, a cow, and a donkey. So very cute, and they will all work great with the manger scene. Then the last one here is the wise men. We've got the words, wise men still seek him. We've got a camel with the layer. So this is your base camel, and this is the layer that you would place over the top. And there's clear instructions on how to do that. On the back here, layering the camel, then add that, then add a wise man, then add this. So it's got all how to add your wise man on top, and then, you know, the gifts have all different colours as well. So you add his blanket, then the wise man in all these different parts. So let's see how much I get done today with our scenes, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing it on. I've kind of put them in a little bit of an order of how I think they might work. So let's point you down so you're looking more at the project and not at my face, and we'll see see if I can get this straight. Let me know if we're all crooked here. There we go. I've got a shadow. I've got the mic stand shadow with my phone right here, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just have to lift it up slightly so you can see more of the table there. Hopefully that's going to work okay. Sorry about my hand, all in the place. We'll move this down and I'll grab them one at a time from there. Let's move them up a bit. It's all because I've got it going this way instead of the other way. Let's have a look. So the three canvases I've got, and I didn't bring my measuring tape, but I believe this is 12 by 12 because these stencils are 12 by 12. So see how that fits right on the canvas. So that's a 12 by 12. This one, slightly taller, so it's probably 13 by 8 or something like that. No, 10, sorry, 13 by 10, something like that. So these ones, I'm going to try using those long ways. So we've got our canvas going along like this. Hopefully it all makes sense when I start. Let's have a look and see what we can see. All right, hopefully we can see all the things. I'll start with this one here. Now, our little town of Bethlehem one, stencil. I've taken it out of the packet completely because with our back instructions on how to lay out your stencil, you've got a beautiful image on all of them of exactly how it's all going to turn out. If you wanted to use them all together as a set, you can make a great big scene. So I'm going to make them over a couple of canvases, see what we can fit on them. So I'm going to start with this one. We'll have that there as a little bit of a guide. And this one, we're going to start off with a Bethlehem scene in the background. I'm going to ignore the words for now, and I'm going to ignore the palm trees because I want my palm trees to come and sit on the outsides of these canvases here. So I've got to kind of look also at my second layer, which I want to add this Nativity right here. Thanks, Kathy. The background colour is Fusion's Alchemy range of paint in the colour Storm. So I do have a link for the Fusion paint there, right there in the description of the live also. You can use my code iRestoreStuff at Fusion Mineral Paint and they'll ship it to you. And it's 10% off there too. So I want to use this part and I want it in the background. As you can see, you may be able to see that in here. We've got Bethlehem in the background. So we want a nice subtle Bethlehem in the background. We're going to pop that in. Let's see, we want some areas for angels here in the background. We want a little bit of room for Mary and Joseph. They're going to be down the bottom there. And probably want our Bethlehem to be just at a guess. I'm going to put our Bethlehem central to the canvas. Just trying to get a bit of a guide based on this. You can see it's very faint in the background, so it's going to be quite subtle. In fact, I probably will mix a little bit of that storm with a little bit of white, and we can create that silhouette looking Bethlehem in the background. Okay, so I think, and our star is obviously not going to sit in the middle of the manger, it's going to go up the top. But Essential Stencils just worked at putting all things on one sheet to make this more cost effective for you guys, because then they're not adding more stencils, and therefore it keeps the price down. Okay, am I right in thinking that that's about right? We want a little bit more down. There we go. That should be fine. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could tape off these areas that you're not going to use, but I think that my brush should be far enough away, maybe on the bottom of the palm trees. We could have that there. Hi, Kathy. Jackie's here. Here, palm tree. Just rub that one off. And we'll use a bit of an average size brush. This is the 3/4 inch brush. Using an offloading piece of cardstock. And what I've got here is the colour Storm, which is the background, but I want this to look like a little bit of a silhouette, so it's going to fade into the background. So I'm going to add a bit of white. We'll use some of this birch colour, or there's like the white oak. The birch is a bit whiter. And we'll add that to the blue. Just adding just a dab here. Of the Storm Blue. We've got that in the shot. Just trying to make sure we're all in the right spot. And then I've got, move that across, then we won't have to worry about that. A tiny bit of white. Maybe I'll just use the brush to add a bit of white on here. And I'm going to mix those two together. So hopefully that's a lot lighter, but still has the same tones as my background. And I can see it is a bit lighter, but sometimes my the canvas and the paint as it dries can darken a little bit, so I want to make sure that's quite white. I'm going to take a touch of this here to add a bit more, making sure I don't get blue in the white, obviously, because that would not be good. All right, so now I'm going to sort of offload the brush as much as I can there. And we're going to just create this all the same colour. I've got a book underneath my background so that it's not... so it's a canvas, that's what I mean. The book is on the back of the canvas to create a bit of a solid base for my brush to go over, because when you're using stenciling on a canvas, it can sometimes be a little bit, the canvas has some give in it and it'll sink down. We don't want the canvas to stretch. So I've got most of that up done there, and then just a little bit more. Luckily it's all in the one, I've got that all in the one take of paint, because otherwise you'd have to remember your formula and how much you used of each if you wanted to dip your brush back in something like that again. Okay, so this is going to create a nice silhouette background for our Bethlehem. So there we go. Now we will use that again in a minute, so I'll pop that across over there. So there we've got our silhouetted background. Then we're going to add our Oh Holy Night Nativity. So here's our scene we're looking at here. Build a nativity scene. Oh, Kathy, you got your notification from Essential Stencil to say that they're on the way. That's amazing. I will hit that with the hairdryer. The dryer just to make sure. Hi, Marianne. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for those of you who are sharing our live. Making it known that we are live here today. That's always helpful so that we know, so that we can share with others all about crafting. Oh, you're not able to see what I'm doing, Cheryl said. All right, so I'll try and move the camera down a little bit closer. Here's our manger scene, so I'm just going to place that over the top of there, and you'll see that that will be in the background, and hopefully we'll fit Mary and Joseph in there as well. Let's put that about there. Use that little bit of tape. Pop that there. So we're going to add this, and then we're going to put this down on. There's a little etched part where the stencil is. Let me just see if I can get this down a little bit more. I've got a shadow there, so I'm just sorry about that. I've tried to make the light there so that we can see it a bit more easily, and just move things down a bit more and make it easier for you to see. Is that a bit better? A little bit tricky for me to reach, but we'll see if that's a bit better. Okay. We can put our thing out to the side that we're trying to copy. All right, so I've got this here. We've got that. We've got our book underneath to make it sort of make our stable. And let's see, what colour should we do the stable? A nice brown maybe. We'll do this clay colour. So this is Alchemy in the colour clay. Just making sure my brush, because I don't need that anymore, I should be able to just pop that in the water to clean. And we'll get another brush for our clay colour. This is a 5/8 inch brush. Getting a bit on the brush, and we're using our cardboard to just offload that. So I've got a little blob of it here, offloading the cardboard onto the cardboard, and making sure your brush is fairly dry, and then we just go right ahead. Now remember, we're not going to paint the star, we're just doing the stable, as you can see the brown outline there. And that will go over the top of that, some of the palm trees in the background that we've just done, but that's okay because that is a background. But like we said, you can buy these individually and create just that one small scene, or you can get it as a bundle and create this entire scene that we're hoping to do today. So hopefully get it all done within our time that we have here to share. We're usually live for about an hour, so don't forget we are giving away gift cards at the end of our live. So stay tuned because we'll choose from our comment section. Okay, so this is Alchemy, a chalk paint that Fusion's come out with. Well, it's not really a chalk paint, it's chalk, acrylic, lime. Makes a lovely, it's a thicker paint than the Fusion mineral paints. Great for stenciling as well. Okay, so we've done that section, and then we will add our roof on the top. It's going to be, let's see, our Mary and Joseph first layer. I wonder if I could do them this brown colour. So Joseph down here, he's got brown hair. We could probably do these brown colours for him, and Mary. Oh yeah, the other layer's going to have some skin on there. It's a bit tricky doing it in colours, but you can see how that's gone over the top. But while we've got this here, or where's our Jesus's manger? That's what we could do, that little part, and that'll show where that needs to be down at the bottom here, because that'll help me to figure out where to put that in the centre. Okay, so I'll use that same clay colour, and I'll try not to get the swaddling. We'll use a different colour for that. Just a touch more to kind of make it more evened out. So we've got a layer there. That's where the manger is going to go. And I will do, where is he? Joseph kneeling down there. Within there. And I'm going to do his staff and his feet. Yes, all these parts I'm going to do in this clay colour. You can choose other colours if you like. Just thought while I've got the brush here, I might as well, don't want paint on that. Might as well get these colours and use them. Joyce, you brought the whole set. Amazing. Karen says this is such a nice set. You ordered yours, can't wait to get it to create. Yeah, you can just do so much. And I've seen some of the ambassadors do some things like creating all the same colour but just different shades. And so they make it look like a nice silhouette. So we've got our Joseph first layer there. Mary has probably one little bit of something there. We could do her hair. No, that's going to be on her second layer. We'll just have to keep our brush for her second layer to do her hair. Now I do have some plastic wrap here because what I'm going to do is put some of my brushes in the plastic so that they don't dry out, because I might need to do a second coat with that brown. All right, so now that I want to do the stable, we want to do our second layer for the stable. So we just place that right on top where you can see hang on, where are we going here? Oh, I've got to line that up here. So I'm lining up, got the brown of the stable roof. Got to line that up. This is the first time I've done this. Can you tell, guys? I love that we're all learning together. And that looks like straw or hay. So let's find a strawy hay colour. We've got this amber colour here that might work, or there's a harvest colour. I like maybe the darker colour. The amber might work well for that one. I'm just going to shake this up a little. Deborah, you're waiting for your order too. That's awesome. Oh, got our cap on the top. Seal. And another brush. Let's see. We'll use this 1/2 inch for this colour. Adding a bit of what did I say? Amber. And we've got it in exactly the right spot. Going to go just kind of along the line as if, you know, straw would kind of go along that grain. My brush stroke lines will kind of show up like straw, won't they? It may need a second coat of that colour. You can decide once you've got that dry. I might add a bit of dryer to that, and we'll You're liking these layerings. So then this way, when we've got layers, you don't have to try and tape everything off, so that, you know, sometimes when you've got stencils that don't have the layers but yet they've got different coloured areas, it's nice with the layering, so you don't have to try and tape off all those areas. You can just do your one colour and then add another colour to it. Okay, so I'm going to see how that's really now making a nice solid yellow straw colour, that amber colour. And it's giving a better solid coverage. Okay, So we can lift that up now. We've done all of the stable. We've done the first layer and then the second layer. And see how that adds to it. Now our bottom one. Do we need this yellow colour for anything else? I'm not sure that I have a... I'm looking for sort of a skin tone, more of a tan. Maybe I can just use that clay and add, for their faces, add a bit of white to that. Let's see. Our baby Jesus, let's finish that one off. So we're going to take this tape away from there. The first layer, I think, is the right side. I don't know. Oh, we could do, is that straw? Trying to have a little cheat here. Let's have a look. It is a bit of yellow straw. We could do that for those little bits where he's sitting in the basket. So that's this layer here. So we sit that down into the manger that we've just done the wood for. And I'm going to add that. Let's leave his face, so that's a different colour. Got our straw. Another little bit. And there's his manger, looking great. Now we can go on to our swaddling. And we might need to tape off the bits of the wood. So when you get your stencils in the mail, you'll be able to look back at our videos from this week. And Essential Stencil has also been uploading them to their YouTube channel. I upload them to my YouTube channel, the ones I do. And I just want to dry that before I put my stencil down on top of it, because otherwise you get paint on the back of your stencil, and that's not very helpful for our next layers, because if you get paint on the back of your stencil and you're shifting it on your canvas, you're going to drag that paint on there. So just be careful of that. So we put our baby Jesus right there in the manger, and let's use a nice little white linen look for that. Oops, dripping it over. Did I have that colour somewhere? Oh, I used it there. Okay, so here we go. Making sure, just in case I might need that yellow again, wrap that up in there. And I might use a small brush. One of these, our little fine tip brushes, are good for the tiny little bits. So I dip a little bit in here and just blot it a bit. Then we're going to go over our baby Jesus. And these are so easy to just pounce, and then a little bit of swirling these brushes. And then we've got our nice little baby swaddling. Very cute. Could do another coat on that if you wanted to. And then the last little part is this hole here, which is his face. So we just add our second layer, or our first layer, whichever one that was, back on there. And I was going to choose something. What was I going to do? Maybe this tannish clay colour mixed with a little bit of the... Oh, I've got some here. Mixed with this white, we could create a bit more of a skin tone. We'll see. Not really good with colours and mixing and trying to figure out what's what, so there we go, that'll do. And then we're going to go on with our Mary over here, who needs, let's see, this is such a good guide that they've left with us right here, because I can look at that and think, okay, so there's her praying hands and her face, and then her, what do you call that? Her headdress is there. So we haven't started on Mary yet, so let's start with this section here, and we'll have her about the same. She's down on her knees by the looks of it. They probably both are. And I'm going to start with that sort of face tone tan colour I created there. We'll use that for her hands and then her face. See how these brushes, I don't have to tape off because they're so directional right to that little spot. So these are, I think they're called the mini brushes, but if you just type in brushes in the search bar, you should find them. You can use my code on that too and save yourself the 10%. Okay, did we get Joseph's over here? So we've done that layer of Joseph, and now we just pop this over and add this to this bit, just lining them all up with the little etchings that are right there to show you exactly where it needs to go. And I'm going to use that same colour for his face. Oh, did I get it? And his hands. And then he'll have a different outfit on there. So let's have a look. What outfit should we pick? We've got some lovely colours. What have they used? A sort of a green colour. We could do green. We've got wise men to do. We've got all sorts of fun. Leave that there. Skin colour. Let's put Joseph in. I like this sienna, this dark brown. It's kind of a natural tone. Isn't that gorgeous? Like a rust kind of tone colour. So we can use a little tiny, what's our small brush? Where is that? Maybe I've used them all. A 1/2 inch in the set of these ones. So we've got that sienna colour. And we've got Joseph right here going to add this for his outfit. Oh, my book has moved, so let me just move this back slightly, making sure we're still in our shot. Oh, there goes our whole stencil. So I've got a book at the back of the canvas so that it's got some stability behind there. This is the colour Sienna in the Fusion Mineral Paints Alchemy range. Alchemy by Fusion. Lovely thick paint. There we go, that's a bit better. Let's see if that's looking great. I might need a second coat, so we'll do that. Adding a bit more. So it's better to add a second coat rather than one coat that's too thick, because we don't want to... Oh, there's the book. We don't want to let the paint ooze under the stencils, okay? That's our top tip for you. All right, so I think I have finished all of Joseph. So there he is, kneeling down. Now we'll just add Mary. We've done her face. We need to add her, put that back over her face now. Let's just dry that. We don't want to have Joseph sticking to the stencil. Let it dry. Got my things all blown away. Okay. So we're going to put Mary back over here where I did do her face before. So I can see where those little parts are. And I only did that in that order because I had the brush in my hand. You can just wait and do each layer singly if you wish. So this is her headdress. Let's do, let's do her, I'm going to do this part first, I think. I'm going to see where her face and her hands go. Can match that up. I'm going to do her matching Joseph. Let's just assume that they got it from the same shop and they were, maybe she got the fabric from the same shop. They sewed up matching outfits together. Okay, so we'll give her this red colour as her undergarment. That book is just not staying in the right place for me. this bit here, and then we'll give her a nice bright, maybe a blue like they've got in the example image there. You can choose all the different colours you like when you do yours. And just lay that for a second, pop that in here. Got a couple of pretty blues. I'd like to make a lighter blue, I think. I might use this one. It's called Ocean. It's very bright, but I think I'll add a bit of white to make it just a special, bit more of a pastel-y blue for Mary. Use this birch. Hope I don't run out of brushes here, you know. What do we need? A little brush. Got another little brush. What will I do first? I'll add a bit of white, a dollop of white to my cardstock here. We really only need a tiny bit. That's the colour Birch, and this is the colour Ocean. It is so vividly bright if you're looking at the thing. Okay. Let's just add a little blue to that. Have a look over here. I think I'll just grab a bit of that white because I really don't need that much. We can maybe use that for something else. Oh, it's making it almost like a foamy sea green blue, sea blue. It is called Ocean. Oh, it does look like when the white meets the blue, it's like the ocean foam. That is so pretty. I think Mary would like this. Isn't it fun? It's like playing dress-ups for your stencils. Just trying to catch up on some comments there. Oh, how fun. Joyce, you're going to make a house leaner with this set. Yes, that sounds great. Okay, we've got to grab our Mary. Make sure our paint is nowhere near the stencil that we're going to put on here. Now we can add her right here. We can see where the face is. Now I don't want to get this, oh, there it is. Got to get it in the right spot so we can lean it next to her other outfit. Now I don't want to get paint on those face areas that we painted earlier, so I will grab this and block it off. There we go. And away we go with our bright blue. Whoa, that is a very bright blue. It's a little bit of Ocean mixed with some birch white. Now that's a little bit see-through, so let's grab the dryer, dry that bit. So I can see the layer underneath, which is the Bethlehem scene. And we want it to be a bit more solid than that, so let's grab a little bit more of this. We'll grab a bit more white in there for our second coat. And add that in there. Who else likes mixing colours? You can create some really fun stuff. I tend to just stick with the same, whatever I've been given, you know, the colour range that comes with whatever I'm using. But you can create some lovely colours. Look at that blue. Nice and vivid. Okay, so that's Mary's blue. Have we done everything? Now we don't have the star on there yet. We could do that now. We could do the star on top of the stable. And then any of these words, I could fit something like that underneath, unto us a child is born, or something like that. So let's have a look at this star. Where are we going to pop it? Let's have it coming right down into the stable there. Leave a bit of room for something at the top. And we will add, I'm going to make it this bright blue, but then I'm going to put a layer of white over the top of it. I don't know, I just feel like that would be a fun thing to do. You know how lights can be so bright that they're blue instead of a warm colour? Just let's have a look and see what happens. So this will be like a base. And then I'm going to add just plain white straight over the top of that. So you may not be able to even see that blue, but maybe. I don't know. We're just experimenting with the viewers. Oh, who was that? So they were working on blending colours. That's amazing. Anna. Kathy, you mixed quite a few of your colours, then you get mad at yourself if you need more and you can't remember what I mixed. I know. Yes. Did you do her face? Oh, yes, I did. Yana, I did her face. So she's got her face. All right, so we are going to use, the brightest white I've got here at the moment is birch. You could use Fusion's Casement if you wanted to use that. Pop that right in here. You don't want to get those paintbrushes dried out in case I need to use them again. And then I'm going to grab let's grab a little bit of a bigger one, 5/8 inch brush with just, oh, I've got white over there. Never mind, we're just getting our white on the brush and we'll add that to the star. It's got sort of some blue undertones. Oh, I think I might have had too much on my brush, guys. You know, do you ever get that sinking feeling? Those of you who have stenciled for a long time and you've added paint to the brush and then you do a swirl and you're like, I feel like that went underneath. Let me see. Hopefully it didn't. Oh, it's not too bad. I've got a bit of a fuzzy edge. Disappointed myself. All right, so that's created a little bit of blue there in that white. So I'm going to add a bit more white. And it's probably because that paint was not quite dry. So let me dry that layer. Most people do stars yellow, and I always do too. But I just had this thought, what if I just do a bright blue base underneath it and it can be like standing out. Yes, Gail, you can go back and watch this again. As soon as the live is finished, you can watch the replay. And then we also upload them onto YouTube, so you can watch them there too. I think Facebook Lives stay on the site, on the Facebook pages for 30 days or something like that. So, but they're always downloading them and we add them to YouTube. So, okay, let's have a look what that looks like. Oh, that's a nice bright star. See, you probably won't tell unless it's really close, but this top edge on the left there kind of has a bit of a fuzzy edge. Never mind, you guys, that's okay. All right, we've finished with this stencil here, unless we wanted to add some words, which we can always just add those at the end. Let's move on to our other fun stencils we have here. Yeah, Sandy says it should be on Facebook for 30 days. Correct. Okay. Our next one, we've got the Hark the Herald Angels Sing set. So these can come as a single set. So see how they've got words on each set that would really blend to it if you wanted to just create that as its individual set. And so we've got this one, and each one of them, I believe, in the back of there comes with that lovely nativity scene that shows you exactly, which we've got right here as our guide as to how to create it as one big scene. So here's our Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Let's add some stars to that night sky. We've got our star there. We can always add more over there. I'm just going to add them anywhere. I've pushed it over to this side because otherwise this star, it's got some stars there, and then I can add some more over here. So let's just continue with that white that we had before and add our stars in. Some are twinkling brighter than others, I'm sure, in the sky. So as my brush runs out of paint, it might, or as the canvas bows low, it might, some might be brighter than others on my canvas too. If I'm shoving the canvas, it's because I've got to shove the book underneath it that's holding it stable. Okay, so there's some stars. They're pretty easy to do. So we've got that layer there going. Let's add some more stars up here. Twinkling around. I'm just kind of trying to see what we've got going on there. We'll just add some here. A little bit up here. Oops. Hi Barb, thanks for saying hello. Okay, some more stars there. And we could go on up here. A couple more twinkling up over here. Oop. I've twinkled some the wrong way, apparently. Well, I was thinking we'd just make them go any which way, but I just noticed then that they're all up the right way. So we've got some odd stars here. Have to add some more odd stars. And we could add some more down the end here. Let's start with our angels though. So the angels have got layers. We've got on their example over here, we've got a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white. So we could just do a similar thing. Okay, so there's wings there. The wings are kind of golden and they've got the rest is white. And the trumpet might be golden too, maybe golden hair. Anyway, you could just do the angels one colour if you wanted to. So let's do one over this side. One over this side. And we'll do our other one, do our trumpet as well. We can change the colour. We can always go over the top of the white. Let's do our one over this side, around about the same spot. And then we'll leave that one aside and go with that yellow. It's a brighter yellow. We've got this harvest colour, which I think is a brighter yellow. A little bit brighter. Whoop. And I will grab another little brush for our yellow. So this is the colour Harvest. And where are we going with that? We are adding the wings. So we've got our etched little piece there and we can see where it needs to be a different colour. So we add that on top. And I will add our other angel. There is the part we just did. So see how we move it over and you can see there's a little etched line. You may not be able to see that on the video. I'm just being careful not to lay this side down on that because I think that yellow is a bit wet. And we just do the other here. So there's our Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Copy. Oops. And so then we've pretty much finished this canvas and I'm going to go onto those side canvases. So if you wanted a bigger canvas, it would probably fit on something that's, you know, just got a little bit more either side of this one, like a, I don't know, maybe a 20 or something. We did say, didn't we, girls, my ambassador friends, if you're there watching, I think it's like 24 inches this way would fit the whole entire scene. Maybe you'd get it squished in a little bit better than that as well. I'm going to just go over this one more time. I feel like sometimes you just need a second coat. And it really makes it nice and solid. There we go. Angels. trumpeting. Beautiful. All right, so let's move on to our side canvases now. So these are the ones on the sides, and I think I'm finished with that. And these ones, I had a thought whether to do them this way or this way. Hopefully you could see that. I can't see how we... Yes, you can just add to it. Gail, does this come with instructions? We're giving you the instructions right about now. But yes, it does come with all the different, not step-by-step instructions, but each one has like the different layers on it and how to look at what the layers are. But really it doesn't matter too much, I've discovered in just doing this one. It doesn't matter too much which order you do those layers in. So you can see Mary, her 2 layers were side by side, and same with Joseph and so on. So let's do our shepherds now. Now, if you just look at the shepherds and the wise men, I can see that the animals are facing this way, so I'm going to put that one on this one. I see the wise men are facing this way, so I'm going to put that one on this. But, of course, if you wanted to do yours differently, you could flip over the stencil and make them face the other way. No problem at all. That's just how I'm going to do that bit. All right, so there's my first one there, and I will start with, let's start with the shepherds over here. We've got our example here. And let me have a look at that. I'll just stand that up so I can see easily. We've got one shepherd there in the picture, but you could add as many shepherds as you like. Here we go. So on the back of each stencil, it will show you how to layer. So we've got the shepherd and then the second layer donkey, second layer cow, second layer sheep, second layer. So if you just follow that instruction for each of them, it will show you on the back of your stencils. So cute. So here's our shepherd. So I thought we'd have them going like that, and then we're going to put the palm trees on each side. So let's do that. And I think I will go with that. What colour did I do that with? So we'll put our palm tree on first because it's going to this one's going to be on this side, the other one on the other canvas. It'll help to say where our placement is for all of those. So there was a colour I used. Let's see. No, there wasn't. There wasn't a colour that I used. Oh, maybe that, yes. This colour that I used for the brown, the stable. I might use a little bit of that clay colour, and we'll just make that the entire palm tree with that colour, like it's a bit of a silhouette in the background there. And I'm not going to worry about the leaves. You could do the leaves a little bit different colour later. I mean, you could do... Blah. Anyone else mess up their words? You could do the leaves green if you like, and I can even do them green at a later time, but for sake of time right now, I'm just going to do these all the same colour, and we'll go down with our palm tree branch and add that there. So then I could go over that and create some more depth, more colours, all that kind of thing. So we've got our palm tree there for this scene here, and we'll do that other one. Well, let's do that now actually. That might be easier if we do that other palm tree on our other canvas for our wise men while I've got the colour already and active. So see how this is going to work out? We've got that one on that side. This one's going to go on this side. So we do that there. And I've just made a big old mess. Of my paint jar to clean that up later. And there we go. Palm tree done. So go back to our shepherds. Where'd I put them? They're hiding. shepherds. And we've got the Lord is my shepherd. See how I could use that whole thing just for one scene or a little scripture verse kind of thing. Or you could just buy the shepherds and the Nativity. But I just love that the whole bundle all comes out together really nicely. Okay, so shepherds we've got here. Let's put him in the front so he's kind of in the lead of the pack. So we'll do this one first and then we'll layer this over the top. But like I said before, it probably doesn't matter the order in which you do them. And also for the background, I could be adding stars all up the top as well. But we'll see how we go for time. I just really want you to get the idea and how you can put them all together. So let's get going, Mr. Shepherd. We need that brown for the staff would be just fine. And let's just make that be his beard as well. And then we'll do a different colour for his coat, his jacket. We've probably got something there that could be matching. What colour was this? Like a yellow. This was that amber colour. I think that's the colour we did the straw for the barn or the stable. So yes, this whole set works so well together. And if you missed it earlier, this is Essential Stencil's latest stencil layering set, which can all be either bought singly or as a bundle, but it's made so that you can build an entire nativity scene. And I can imagine, wouldn't it be fun if you could put all these little characters individually on little blocks or little pieces of cardboard or something like that for kids to be able to create their own nativity scene. So there's another fun idea for you. So there's our first layer of our shepherd. So we make sure that's dry. Oops, my switch is missing. And then we can go on with our second layer. And we just place it over here so that it's exactly... So we've got etchings on the stencil itself, so we could do another colour there. Now I did have that colour for their faces, which was, I believe it was this. Let's see if I can just create a little bit with that white. Bit of a skin tone there. And see how I can just dab that because these brushes are so nice and tiny. This is the, it's not the detail brushes, it's the other one that's called, I think they're called mini brushes on the site. And then we can go ahead with his headpiece, and they've got that as white. We could do it whatever colour. But we could do white, I think. Now for this one, because I've got such a big brush, I will use a little bit of tape and just tape that face part so we don't get it on there. Whoops, our white. And that's our shepherd's headdress thing. Headdress. And what else? His tunic thing. He could have, we could give him a slightly different colour than Joseph if we wanted to. We could go with this lagoon colour. It's like a greenish oceany colour. Running out of brushes, guys. Let's try one of these. We'll just have to use a bigger one. That's okay, because our stencil, it's the layering stencils. Oh, I'm not sure if this will turn out like really noticeable on this blue, but we'll see. It might be okay. So there's our shepherd. Yes, that turned out just fine. We made it. We made it, shepherd. We made it to the stable. So using that same shepherd stencil, you could create a few shepherds going along there. So, and the same with the sheep. You've got the sheep first layer and then second layer, but you can create a whole bunch of little sheep around here. But I'll just do one for now so that for sake of time, and then you can do a bunch. So I'm going to use a little bit of black for its skinny little legs. We've got Fusion's got their Alchemy range, has the colour Onyx, and that is a black. And we'll do a little sheep face black as well. And then we'll do white wool, and he'll be done. Oh look, I could do 3 while I'm right here. And we've got the stencil going. Might as well get another couple in, hey? Because it really is that quick and easy. Another one down here. And then our second layer is going to be the white of the wool. So I'll just pop that here while I put lids on. Get our wrapped plastic wrap here. Dry that off. Oh, so many great ideas. I love that, Kimberly. Separate ornaments and making that happen. Where's my white? Here we go. So we've got this little bit of white still here. So here goes our second layer. We've got our sheep. Oh, where is he? There's our legs and there's our mouth bit. So there we go. We've put it, lined up those etched areas really well. And we've got our white sheep. Isn't it cute? It's just the cutest little sheep. And again, right here, lining up our legs, and our wool goes right over the top. And here's our third sheep over here. Ready, little lamb, going to visit baby Jesus. Okay, so now we've got our sheep. Aren't they sweet? We can add our cow and our donkey, so we could add a little, they could be just, you know, walking in the background over here. Let's do our cow about here, and we'll put the donkey somewhere, maybe here. Like, they're not in the sky, but, you know, they're just kind of, I hope that makes sense, that they're sort of in the background. Let's put our cow here first, and then we'll figure out our donkey. Cow needs to be, oh look, it's a bull. It could have horns. It's got some horns. Let's have a look. A brown colour. Let's go with that clay again. You could always add a little bit of white to, you know, create different tones for if you just have the one brown colour. In fact, where's that white? It's kind of created a blob on the back of my stencil. Okay, cow, here we go. And we've got some grey for the donkey. So don't go anywhere, guys. Oh, we haven't even finished our wise men. I feel like we're running out of time. I'm going way over. Oh, almost the same colour as the palm tree, but that's okay. It's night time. They could be silhouettes. Thank you, Anna. Thanks, Lucretia. And then there's this part, which is his horns. So we've got to line up the leg with those etched markings. Just line up your etched markings there. And we've got a darker leg. So what we can do is just add that darker clay over here. Could even add a touch of that black, but for now I'll just do darker bit for the legs and the tail. You could add a touch of black if you wanted to make it even darker. And they've got lighter coloured horns on him. Just patting a little touch of that on there, that clay colour. Okay, cow, done. Donkey, where are you going to go, Mr. Donkey? So there's our bull, or whatever it is, cow. Donkey can just come maybe stand here, and then we can add some sky angels later on in the background. You can imagine that. We've got this grey colour here, spruce. Spruce is a nice donkey colour, I feel. Adding a donkey colour. There's our grey. Cute little ears. And then some kind of maybe a black, don't they? What do they call these donkeys? St. Andrew's Cross or St. Andrew's donkeys or something or other. On their back they have that little dark stripe. I don't know if this one has that. I think it doesn't, but that's okay. Donkey, here's our black. And we move that over to our second layer. Line up our etched parts so we can see exactly where the legs and the mane need to go. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. So imagine that. We could even add another angel to the sky and add that there. But I'm going to move on quickly, as quick as I can. And of course you can add to all of these. I'm not sure if you can see that down that low. Maybe you can. We'll add to that. Now do our wise men. Let's see how quick I can do this. So Maggie's asking how many layers are there in all? Oh, good on you, Kathy. Thank you so much. You're going to watch till I stop. I'm trying to go as quickly because I'm mindful of time. Also, we're going on an anniversary getaway. It's actually our wedding anniversary tomorrow, Marty and I. And so we're leaving this afternoon for a little anniversary getaway. So we've got Tori and Noah are looking after Olive, so she'll be fine. Yes. So I'm excited to do that too. But I am going to stay until I've just finished this camel and the wise men. So that, again, you can create a nice, fun wise men saying we've got one camel on here and one wise man, but you can add as many as you like. Now, there's a, some say there were more than 3 wise men. It just doesn't say that there was 3. It just says there was, the Bible says there was 3 gifts. That doesn't necessarily mean there was only 3 wise men. Go check it out for yourself. Look at your Bible, see what it says. But you can add as many as you like right here. Let's add this guy, and then I'll show you it all together, and then we'll add, let's see if I've got room. Hang on. 1, imagining. So here I've got to add my 1. We could add another sort of here, and then we can add another sort of there. So if I move it over as close as I can to the palm tree, then we can fit all our camels in. Let's do this. Oh, we need a bit of a lighter colour for that. Let's do, well, we could mix a bit of white with that as well. They could all be varying shades of camel. I think the camels will be quick actually, because I could just do, you know, like I did with the sheep. While I've got it here, might as well just quickly You guys will just take your time, of course. You're not rushing like I am. You can do 2 coats of something if you need a couple of coats of it. And then another camel. Let's make it sort of standing a little bit backwards up here, as if it's a little bit further in the distance. And then our other one hopefully fits on the next little bit. Oh, whizzing through this. Moving her right along, and our last camel will fit right down here. Now I've just used that one batch of dipping the brush on that colour, and it goes a long way. Sort of the less you've got on the brush, as it runs out, you can sort of press it a little bit harder. And so we've got our 3 camels lined up right there. Look at that. Okay, and so again, laying our etching down exactly where it should be. So this blanket, I'm assuming, is going to be some nice bright colour, but our legs, I guess they're making just slightly a bit darker. So we did add some white there, so we can add a touch more of this black and maybe just mix it with this same brush and just make a darker tone for the legs and the reins. And then while I've got the brush here, I'll move it along to each camel, and then we'll come back and do his beautiful blanket. I imagine there were 3 kings with some beautiful robes and things, and they're going to be sitting on the camel. So let's see, you can see the dark shadow in the background there of his legs and the reins. This is my super fast version. So when we get to the wise man, I think we will create some fun colours there, or add some fun colours on there. Okay. You're still with me? We are going to pick some winners at the end. I'm sorry I'm going over today, but this is a big bundle, guys, and I just wanted to show you the full scope of what you could do. There we go, there's that, and now we'll go back and do their blankets. So his blanket is right in that square there. Let's find a fun colour. I do like the thought of that blue and this sienna colour, so I don't know how I mixed that blue, but we can make something fun again. That's the Mary's blue colour there. Actually, let's just try using that as the blue. They could have all different, if you wanted to wipe your stencil clean in this area, you could just do all different colour blankets. For this purpose though, I probably should just use the same blanket. For saving time. Imagining that they got their blankets from all the same shop. Oh, thank you, Maggie. Awesome. Thank you for hanging around. I'm not sure if they have picked any winners yet because I'm still going here, but if they have, let me know. I'm trying so hard to check comments as well as finish off our project. And we've got, maybe I'll just get one wise man on, hey? At least get one guy sitting on a camel so that he can see and head to the stable. So here is our wise man, and he's going to sit. I should probably just dry that off real quick. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Okay, so here we are with our first one. Let's put him on the top of this guy. Oh gosh, where do we put him? I'm trying to see where he would go. Oh, I see. You probably have to kind of look at the guide for this. So he's going to sit, imagine he's sitting right there. Okay, so that's his sitting position, I think. And then his, oh, hang on, maybe down a bit. Oh, hang on. There. He's sitting, his legs, a little bit tricky. Well, if I've got him in the wrong spot, you'll soon tell. Okay, so he's wearing some kind of an outfit. We'll add to that this yellow colour, Harvest. And that's right, he's got his gift as well. So maybe, oh, we've got different gifts. So we do have 3 different wise men, so they can all wear 3 different outfits. So I'm imagining this guy is bringing something gold. The other one's frankincense and myrrh. So that's all going to be yellow. And of course, this probably needs a second coat. But for sake of time, one coat. Thank you. Yes, I wanted to do the whole bundle so that we could kind of... Oh, I see, yes. So this is his hands. Yes, so we could see what it looks like all together. Oh, that's his face. Sorry, guys. I have to do this part here, and then that's his head. All right, so we've got that part. I see. Maybe this is the top part here. There it is. There, we just line up our etching bits. There's his face, so I need to get that colour again. Yeah, so if you do line up the etching bits, it is a little tricky, but where's our face colour? We'll try and use that again. The white. And add it to his hands, add it to his face. And then this second, so there's 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. So that's that second part. Then our third layer is his headdress. So see his face is there, just missing the headdress. So we add that onto there. And we'll choose a colour. And so it does have the etching of the face there, so we can choose a colour to do that headdress on. So he's got a yellow outfit. What's going to go with that? Let's do that nice sienna colour that I had out earlier to do. Maybe we'll add a bit of white to that. And here's our headdress right here, our headpiece. So there you go. Let me just finish there, and I will add to it later. I probably will have to do this finishing off when we come back. We're only away a couple of days, but it'll be fun to finish that off completely before I put it all up on the Stencil of the Month Club, but I will do that after I've finished it all. So I just wanted to show you it all together. Let's just move some things out of the way here, and then we'll pick our winners and we'll be good to go. So we've got our... let me see if I can see correctly. Oh, you're so welcome, Monica. I'm glad I stayed to do this. And I know we've gone over time, but here's our full picture, and they do have a guide there. But I just wanted to show you how it all works, because there are some bits that you kind of need a little bit more direction on. And so here we are all together. So imagining now we've got the... have I got that all in the right place? I need to lift it up a bit more towards me. Is that right? And then our shepherds here. Let me just see. I can just zoom you up there. Sorry, guys. Make sure I've got it in the right... got it in the shot now. So we've got this. Shift all our brushes away. Put them all in the water. Used a lot of brushes today, which is why it's always good to have a second set somewhere. So imagine now we've got all the stars... And the we can put more stars up here. We've got extra wise men on there. We can add some more shepherds to our nativity scene, and then you can add it, create sort of like a three panel scenery. So there you go. I wonder if we've got our winners picked yet. So I'll see if I can lay that down. That's why I wanted to do this sort of panoramic today instead of, what do you call that? Horizontally. see. There's our winners. Thank you, Essential Stencil, for letting me go over time. We've got Shannon and Margie and Yana. You have each won yourselves a $20 gift voucher for Essential Stencils. So maybe if you haven't got the Nativity set, you could put that towards that. The Nativity set, again, it is available now for shipping. If you do get the whole bundle, which is 5 stencils in all, they each have the little layers to create a whole entire nativity scene. So many different things you could do with it. I even want to add some words up the top here, like one of the beautiful, so many sayings on this whole set if you get them all together. So it's 20% off if you get the whole entire bundle, plus use my code, I Restore Stuff, and you can get another 10% off and save that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again next week. And thanks for hanging in there. Bye.